Well, it actually worked out for once. I had a little fun today. Around 1 o'clock, I would say from 1 till 3, I met with Fred. I thought it wouldn't happen, but it did. He had to do a grocery run at Costco, so that's where we went. We milled around the neighborhood for a little bit, and then we went to Costco. We got what he needed, you know, cat food, cat litter, cat pads. I think what else? Tacos. Or was it tacos? No, it was this Tostitos chips. Tostitos, I don't know, tortilla chips. And he was also nice enough to buy us fountain drinks, so he bought himself a Coke of it. Oops. That's another thing that Black Pill likes to do. It's to remind you that your health sucks, which essentially is basically an extension of you have bad genes, fuck you. So if you hear me coughing more throughout the video, it's just, you know, my wonderfully inherited traits kicking in and reminding me, hey, you got a fucking chronic cough and it's gonna kill you. I know it's so great. It's been pretty annoying. It's been bothering me these past few days, but I've kind of just gotten used to it. Anyways, we got all this shit. We did his grocery run. We got 2 fountain drinks for $1. It's kind of funny because if you want to get a fountain drink, it's like $1 per drink. But then if you get like a combo, which is a hot dog and a fountain drink, it's $1.50. So we should have gotten the combo, but he wasn't interested in eating, I guess. So we did that, and then what did we do? Then we had to go to this store called M&M because he was doing the grocery run for his folks, and they told him like, hey, we need beef burgers, like we need patties. You couldn't get them at Costco, so go get them anyway because we need them. So we went there to M&M, nice little store, kind of tucked away to one of those quietish suburban neighborhoods. It was a pretty small store. It was all right. Then what did we do? Oh, he then we went to his girlfriend's place. I stayed in the car and yelled obscenities at him, just like, "Hey, I'm gonna press all the buttons in your car. Do you mind if I do that?" Like just typical trolling behavior. And his girlfriend wasn't home. She was out with friends. So he dropped the ice cream off with her folks, and then after that we went back with the groceries to his place. Went up in the elevators. His brother came down. We put it all in the wagon because they're on like the fourth or fifth floor or whatever, something like that. It was kind of funny because like one of the elevators was like out of like I think it was like out of service or something. Maybe they were fixing it, but the other one, like, people were taking it up to like the 16th floor or the 10th floor or whatever. It was just kind of annoying because like we had to stand there for a bit just waiting for people to stop using the elevator and let it come down to the ground floor where we were so we could actually get up. That was only because we had the wagon full of groceries. On the way down, me and Fred just took the stairs because, like I said, that elevator was going to take forever. And then, what else happened? Yeah, then we drove home, and, well, he drove me home and played some nice Minecraft music and all that. On the way to Costco, we played this song. It's called Indigo by NXCRE and the Villains. I mentioned it in my last vid. It was pretty nice. I mean, he likes to put music at a rather loud volume, so I tolerated it. On the way back, when we were playing the Minecraft music, we had the windows down, which amplified the effect and made it even better because it's one of those days where the sky's blue and there's no clouds, and it's warm out. Probably one of the last warm days we'll get. I'd most likely be goofing off with Fred at his place, or maybe we'd be out on a walk right now, just talking shit if this were the old days. But no. Um, oh yeah, well, we were at Costco. We were talking about how we were joking around, and I was like, hey, like imagine if this was like us, like on a grocery run, because we live together and shit, like imagine all the stuff we could do. All right, including when we went back to his apartment. I pointed at it and I'm like, yo, imagine if like we lived here. Which is just 2 bedrooms, it'd be kind of funny. Um, and he responded by saying that like, he'd be up at like 12 and I'd already be awake doing my thing, which is true. I usually get up around like 7:45 in the morning. So I could just picture that. Like me and Fred, we live in the same apartment, right? He finally staggers out of bed at noon. He's like, "Where's my lunch?" And I'm just like, "I already made your fucking lunch, you fucking lazy bum," right? And then by 12, so by the time he gets up, I'll have like made lunch, started, making preparations for dinner, probably like, I don't know, like played. I mean, we're assuming in this case that I have more money than I have now, so I guess I would have played like, I don't know, like Helldivers or something for an hour. I mean, it would be nice. I'd have a lot more freedom than I do here because I'm still at home, and my life here is just chores and schoolwork and nothing else. I'll get on that more in a minute. You know, I was joking to him about how we'd be able to do stuff like drive around at like 10 at night and not give a shit because who's going to stop us, right? So that was nice. And then, I came home around 3, dawdled around on my laptop, and I managed to discover some donuts that had been left out. Like, I guess we got them at the store or something, and we finally realized, like, oh, these donuts exist. They're pretty nice to boost the sugar and brief shot of dopamine up to the skull. Assuming things work out, I'm gonna go see another friend once I'm done filming this. Have some fun, have some more fun, I guess. Not as interesting as with Fred, but it is what it is. So there's that. And I have a bunch of schoolwork I should probably be doing, but I haven't started. Like, I have a test on Friday and I haven't studied for even a single minute. I should, but I'm just being lazy. The other kind of sucker punch was my one-itis. She uploaded more pics to her socials, and I happened to find them in my feed, and it kind of felt bad for a bit, because like you could tell that, it wasn't the old her. Obviously, people change, and once they change, you don't revert back to the past, right? There's no such thing as time travel, right? Hair still blonde, right? Still wearing revealing-ish clothing, but just like, I guess maybe she didn't use as much makeup or something this time, but it kind of also looked, it almost, it like, I would say 85% looked like how she used to appear, back, in grade 11 and 12 when I liked her and we actually got along and still talked. That was kind of a slap to the face, but, it's still not really her, right? She's still, how should I say it? She has been lost to the passage of time and consumer culture, so, but she still looked like she was having fun, obviously. I guess what I'm trying to say is that today was one of those rare moments where I was able to live a little. I was able to see one of my friends and go someplace, and it's also a nice day, like it's warm out. I was wearing my cap earlier on a walk and my head was sweating. That's how hot it is. And obviously those pictures of my one-itis too, going out to the bar, running around the streets at night, all that jazz. These things don't happen much. They really don't. Like I said, once I get home, it's just doing housework, right? Washing dishes and cleaning up garbage. Another one than that is just schoolwork or sitting on my laptop watching videos and playing games. And it hurts because, like, I had this thought when I was coming home too, like, I remember in middle school, I was obsessed with Halo, right? I'd read, like, Halo comics and watch videos about Halo, even though I barely had computer access, right? I even, like, I managed to get the Halo encyclopedia all the way from, like, another library across, like, the province. And I was reading that. I was enthralled. My imagination was flying all over the place. I mean, even in grade 11, right? It was right. I got into The Expanse, and then my imagination just exploded some more. I used to watch clips from The Expanse, and just be like, "Wow, this is so cool." Wanting to know what happened. But that's gone now. I'm static. I'm still here. Next thing you know, today will be over. September will be over. And for the next 3 months, it'll just be the usual grind of school, home, rot. Fred doesn't have much of a life. But, and he admitted this. Him having a girlfriend really does help his sanity. I mean, he spends his days, right? Friday, Saturday, Sundays, he pretty much works like all day. And then Monday to Friday, he just goes to class and rots at home and does schoolwork. But he's still able to see his woman, right? I think it's Mondays or Tuesdays or whatever, usually, like once a week, he sees his girl. And he still has a car. So that even though he's broke, he can, drive himself places. Like, I would be a lot, like, for me at least, if I had a car, even a shitbox one, I think I'd be a lot better with my position in life, right? Because it's like, on one hand, I can drive I can drive myself home from campus, right? And I can drive how I want. I can blast music, windows down, all that stuff. And on weekdays, when school's done, if I'm feeling a little down in the dumps or whatever, easy. Hop in my car, windows down, turn up the music, drive around town, see the city, and then come home. Just something to get the wild out of me, something to help me, something to let me understand that I'm still a living human being who is actually able to experience things and not just decay, Because I'm not experiencing anything. I mean, it's a small thing, right? Driving around with the windows down, blasting music. It's like a lot of those people out there, right? You know who I'm talking about, the upper middle class ones, and even just average people, they can do this in theory whenever they want. I can't. Like, I can't. Something as simple as driving around the block for like 30 minutes or whatever. Even that is paradise to me. It's like the difference between a man who's had water his entire life, right? He can just go to the tap and turn it on, versus somebody like they have enough water to survive, but they never have enough to quench their thirst, right? So the guy who who can just turn on the tap and get a drink, right? If you hand him a water bottle, he'll just be like, "Oh, okay, like, cool, take a sip and put it aside." That guy who's only had enough water to not die of dehydration, you hand him a bottle of water, he's gonna think you're God. It's almost sad in a way. It is. Just I'm so limited that even the smallest thing that normal people take for granted, for me, it'll just be like, I would think that the Lord himself blessed me. But I know that I'll probably not have that for a long time. These warm, sunny days will not last, although they are nice. It'll get cold and gloomy soon. And even though these days are warm and sunny, I'm still here, right? I'm still stuck in my house, in my suburb, in my room. If I'm not doing homework, I'm doing chores. And I'm just sitting here waiting for something. I don't know what. Fred and I are in similar positions, and he works more than I do. I'm not working right now. I did, but I'm not at the moment. But even while our lives are essentially the same, like I said, he still has advantages. Right? One big thing being a woman, right? He has friends at work too, right? So he has people he can see regularly and for extended periods of time, right? He has a romantic partner, which also helps. Again, humans are social creatures. And he has a car. I mean, even though he doesn't really go anywhere and mostly runs errands, he's still able to get out and see the world. I have nothing. I don't got pals, right? Or all my friends are busy or far away. I don't have a woman, don't have a car. Literally, even if I just got like a Toyota Corolla from 2008, I would be ecstatic. But I'm broke as hell. I can't afford anything. So I'm just stuck here, watching and waiting. I guess waiting for the day I can finally be alive and do do stuff, whatever that is. I'm gonna go meet my other friend now. Probably won't be much, but I'll take what I can get at this rate. I already have so little to begin with. Nothing more than a prisoner in my own home. Someday I'm going to lose my mind from all this. I don't know, just being trapped and being at the mercy of other people all the time. And being little more than a dead man walking. I want to live. I want to feel the wind in my hair and on my face. I want to feel the sun on my skin. And I want to know that when I go home, I can just do whatever I want. Or, I can just stay out for like 5 or 6 hours milling around because guess what? I got a life now. That's all I want. A little autonomy. Car of my own, even if it's crappy, good enough, honestly. What more can I ask? But that's the thing with us losers, eh? We may ask only for a little, but we get nothing in return. Even if we work hard, even if we struggle and bleed and sweat and cry, we still get jack shit. Fred agreed with this too. Some people get all the luck, and as losers, as sub fives, as black pillars, we we got the worst luck out of them all. And the only thing we can do is live with that. We gotta live with that. Along with our own failures, intentional or otherwise. And, eventually we'll either lose our minds or accept our fates and resign ourselves to a life of quiet, forgotten desperation. Because nobody's gonna give a shit. We're just gonna decay alone. Yeah, what a future we got, huh? All right, I've done enough rambling. Just today was one of those rare days where I actually had fun and I felt like a real person. Alas, it will soon go away. I will be alone again and here and hopeless and tired and grind on because what else do I have? What else do any of us have?